Hey everybody, what is up? It's your good friend Brian McGill and Corey Camp with the Sydney app back at you for another What's Up Wednesday. Corey, how you doing today?
Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I in 2.5 days took 4 flights to get all the way down to Florida, which is where you are. I was on a plane out when you were on your plane in. Flying is exhausting to me. So I'm still got my giant cup of coffee this morning, getting ready to go. But I'm excited and energized. I got to do my very first keynote session. So I've been speaking for a long before, and I had the honor of getting to keynote for one of our partner companies, and I'm just over the moon, still riding on all of that adrenaline of keynoting. So a lot of fun. That's where I am, and I'm just getting back into the daily groove of things today. So
being famous is hard work, Corey. Jeez.
I know. But you know what? I left Florida in amazing hands. You and Kyle are there today at the FETC conference. So what's going on there? What's it feel like this morning?
Well, this morning, I think everybody had a lot of fun in Miami. I think they're going to sessions. They're getting registered. The exhibit hall doesn't open until 12 o'clock. Folks are going to be able to come and have lunch. We've got Korean tacos right by the Sydney booth, as well as some other kosher. We got Kosher Corner, the Greenhouse, and a bunch of other wonderful little eats. If you're going to be hungry around 12 o'clock, come to the exhibit hall and come hang out with the Sydney booth. We're booth number 4641. We've got Sydney mission cards to pass out to some of you that have been interested in learning more about that. We got some purchase. We're going to do a drawing on Friday for a Saturn V rocket. We'll mail it to you. We don't have it here, but anyways, the long and skinny of this, we're here to have a lot of fun. Some of our friends from Fulton County, Pittsburgh, Montour, and a couple of other districts in Florida are going to be here. So we're looking forward to catching up with everybody. We don't have any conference sessions that are Sydney related, but we have a few friends that will be joining us. So follow me on Twitter for some of the interviews that I'll be doing over the next couple of days. Corey, we got a really exciting guest for us today from the West Coast. We're going coast to coast this morning.
That's right.
What's Up Wednesday. Do you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah. So this guy, I've liked him from the moment that you introduced me to him, Brian. He's from, again, the West Coast Scholarship Prep Public Schools. This is Andrew Crowe. I'm going to bring him into the broadcast. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing?
It's early here. I'm looking forward to some tacos, but I got to wait a few more hours than you do, Brian, but I'm excited.
Now I got to have some tacos. I just had like a breakfast shake and tacos are on my list now for today. Andrew, we're super excited that you're here. Your school district has done some amazing things. You were on doing some amazing things long before we started working with you all, and you started using Sydney. So today we're going to be talking about just taking achievement to the next level, which I think is kind of where you all came to us. Was we're looking for something just to take us and just keep that momentum going. So I'm excited for our topic today.
Thank you.
Andrew, we met at the National Charter School Conference this summer out in Las Vegas, and I remember us having a really rich conversation about why you were ready to get started with video coaching and collaboration on your campus. Would you like to talk to our followers a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have 3 schools here in Southern California, and they're in 3 different counties. We're charter schools, TK through 8, and we were looking for ways to systemize what we were doing across campuses and across grade levels. So for us, we really wanted a video platform, and we did a research on a number of different services, and Sydney in just every level, especially customer service, was the top choice for us. And so when we rolled out to our teachers, it made sense, on the ground level for two major reasons. One is we have a mix of, teachers of varying experience levels. Nearly a third of our teachers are in their first or second year, and they wanted real life experience, but also videos to say, what does it look like to be, an effective classroom manager, to have effective wait time, other instructional strategies. And we have some veteran teachers who wanted to share their expertise, but it was really hard to schedule peer observations and release time and prep time to go observe. And so video made great sense for us. And the second thing why we really have enjoyed SIBME and why we chose SIBME was that we have a very intense teacher evaluation rubric and process. And within SIBME, it allowed us to upload our rubric into there and have videos that tie to each indicator, so that instead of just having a PD or talking through what it looks like to redirect student misbehavior or to facilitate academic discourse, we can now have videos in there. So we're very excited about our partnership, and we found that for both the administrator and the teacher level, been great things.
That's awesome. Yeah. And your group of administrators, that was something that I don't get to meet you. You met Brian first, but then I get to meet you as you get ready to kind of actually kick this thing off. And I really admire your group of leaders. They're all a really dedicated and smart bunch. And I remember from that kickoff session, you really wanted to focus, like you had that evaluation piece was definitely that possibility. But again, knowing that we've got these new teachers and we just really need our teachers to be able to kind of self-reflect. That was one of your primary focuses, I remember, from that initial session. So how has video impacted the teacher self-reflection in their own practices?
Yeah, we're about 6 months in, and we've seen a great turnaround in self-reflection, mainly because we've taken away a lot of judgment around the reflection process. So previously, we would provide teachers with scripted notes about what we saw in their classroom, and being able to provide a video takes away some of the subjectivity. Even though we tried to be very objective, some of that slips in there, but it doesn't with video. It just is what it is. And so being able to take away that judgment allows teachers to reflect on what actually happened, what they were actually doing. They're able to do it on their own time. So when we had our scripted notes and we do an observation, you'd want to complete that same day or within 24 hours if possible. But teachers still can't quite remember what happened during this transition or when this student was off task. But with the video, it's there. So that's been fantastic for us. And the main thing that we're seeing from teachers is that they are able to pinpoint exact moments for their improvement. So instead of having maybe a discovery coaching session where we're trying to come to an answer, teachers are now able to say, at 7 minutes in that video, I really see how I could engage more kids. And it's been way more powerful than we even could have imagined, because we knew our teachers wanted to get better, but having them watch themselves on video, we had no idea how self-critical they would be and how much that would turn into them wanting to improve their practice, by working with their coach. So it's been really great for us, even better than we thought it would be.
Yeah. You mentioned that, how critical we are. That's something that when I am helping organizations and coaches get ready to launch this, like the supporting self-reflection and having some ways for us to have conversations, or if I'm not watching that video for the first time with you, especially if you're a new teacher, are there some reflective protocols or guiding questions that we can use to help keep us focused on teaching and learning? Almost everybody is like, oh, is that really how I sound? And, why do I walk that way? But then when we can focus in on teaching and learning, the next step is then being graceful with ourselves about where we are within our practice, because it is a practice. No lesson is ever perfect. But what the research has shown, and this comes out of California's San Diego State University, when they were looking at the impact of feedback and what feedback was most meaningful for individuals, it was the video annotated. And what they also found was their group that used video had a greater sense of growth mindset, right? So they had a better sense of reality of where they really are within their practice, but then they also had a better sense of hope that they had control to change that. And I think that's what video really does do, is now I clearly see what you mean by this in my feedback from my observations. I can see it for myself. So then I can name it, I can see it, and I can act on it. So that's powerful.
Absolutely.
So, Andrew, everybody wants to know what's next for your program.
Outside of getting better at tagging the videos with our glows and grows and our indicators, we see really two next steps that SIBME is going to allow us to take. We have developed in our library our best practices. So when we identify really tight transitions or really tight think pair shares, we will edit those videos down and we push those out to all teachers. So we want to continue upgrading that library, updating it with as many teachers as possible, so we have those resources. That's the first thing. And the second thing is we are going to pilot doing grade level huddles. So we have our coaches have a huddle with their teacher where they share the videos and they share notes. But we would like to do, and we're K-8 schools, we'd like to do a K-2 huddle where we're able to share videos across grade levels, a 3-5 huddle and a 6-8 huddle. And that's something that we didn't see in any other service. So SIBME allowing us to be able to have teachers across grade levels. A 6th grade math teacher can see what's happening in the 8th grade math classroom. Those are our next two things. And I'll be excited to join you guys on another What's Up Wednesday to talk about how that went.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear that. That would be great. Maybe some of the other, we've got some SIBME mission cards that might be able to help your team through some of that. Like maybe start a discussion might be one of them. And then
caution students at work is another good one that we have. That's perfect for that, right? So the fear, it's one thing. I've got this trusting relationship with my coach. I clearly understand kind of typically the roles and the responsibilities of you as my coach and me as a coachee. But then when we start to move into peer collaboration, we get that little bit of that anxiety again. So yeah, there are some great SIBME missions that are lower stakes. Let's focus in on the students, let's focus in on the learning. It's not so much about me necessarily. But yeah, we're going to definitely come back and talk about that. We've got an upcoming guest from Magnolia Intermediate who's going to talk a little bit about their transition from that leadership and coach-led feedback to peer feedback. So tune into that, Andrew. You might be able to pull some things in their practice. But I'm excited. I always love to kind of be able to see that this really does grow with you. SIBME, that was my favorite thing as a user of SIBME before I joined this team was it really can grow with you. It can kind of shape into whatever you need it to shape into for that time. And then, be reborn again the next year if you need it to be. So that's wonderful. Thanks for joining us today, Andrew. It was great. Thanks for getting up super early with us. Go get yourself a taco and have a great week this week, the rest of the week.
Breakfast taco delivery, Grubhub. Let's do it.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, another one of our favorites. I love all of our segments. I love getting a chance to kind of catch up with you and tell everybody what we've been up to, and then interviewing, especially with our customers. We're going to have some internal SIBME people coming into some interviews soon to show us some really new, exciting things that are about to be released, and Jenny's going to come on. So we've heard a few times, just a couple of times, about Jenny and our customer support and success team. Right, Jenny? Who's Jenny? She's a rock star.
Ready for Jenny on live TV.
That's right. That's right. So Jenny's going to join us and talk to us a little bit about how she makes that magic happen as our lead customer success individual. We've got a really great person on that team. But here we go. We've got our shout outs for today. You ready for this? There's 3 today because I couldn't limit it down. So first of all, I want to give a personal shout out to Catapult Learning, and all of the child companies within Catapult Learning. They've got schools that they operate. They work primarily in special education, but they really support all educators. They've got coaching and leadership coaching, and that's where I was in Florida. I was working with an amazing group of leaders from that organization. And I just am so inspired and rejuvenated, which is exactly what conferences should do for us. Just getting to connect with them and talk about really important topics, not just SIBME, but really talking about equity in education and in coaching and leadership and cultural responsiveness. So I just want to shout out to them because I'm sure their brains are tired, but their minds are excited. So shout out to Catapult Learning. We're also shouting out to the Capital Region Education. Oh, am I saying this right? CREC. Yes.
Just go by CREC.
Just go by CREC. Yeah. I was going to try to give the whole name out, but CREC has just met with Jenny. They had some great things to report in the work that they're doing with some remote and virtual coaching, looking to continue to expand and grow that. So shout out to CREC and all my people there. I love them. And then San Diego State University's new teacher induction program just had a killer first semester. Great engagement, great feedback. And I'm not talking about feedback that, the platform of SIDME was awesome, but like the work done, how our teachers and to the mentors that were there. So that's what we love to hear. So shout out to San Diego State University and their new teacher induction program.
I'm coming to your city in the month of March, so let's get it together, boys and girls. So I will. I'm thank you for joining us for another What's Up Wednesday, Corey. Thanks for leading us. Shout outs. We got to get ready get the SIDME booth ready for our friends that are going to be joining us from FETC, it must be good to be home. I'm already ready. We're going to have a lot of fun here in Miami, but it feels like Friday is just around the corner. So it's going to buzz by real fast.
It is. Nobody's making me tacos right now. So, I mean, you got it better than me right now, but all right. Thanks, Brian. I hope you guys have a great time. Bye.
Bye now.